The Flash is a student forum for students produced by students. Students make all content decisions, research, write, shoot, and broadcast news stories they deem important to the Eastview community. Stay tuned.
Hey Eastview, I'm Ibrahim.
And I'm Jenny.
We've got an astonishing show lined up for you today.
Including 4 amazing stories.
From a student-run banner business to important news straight from the Capitol.
Plus some fishy fun and a look into the world of sneakerheads.
So stick around and stay tuned for the Flash.
Stay tuned for the Flash.
Hey Jenny, are you planning any decor for your grad party?
I'll probably let my mom handle that.
Well, I know someone who could help. She's got a bannerific business.
Here's Kaiya with the story.
While nearly everyone at Eastview has taken an art class, one artist stands out in particular, Emma Johnson.
I've been into doing art since I was probably in preschool. I don't know, it's always just been something fun to do with my free time.
For the past 2 years, Emma has been a part of AP Art, a class where students have the opportunity to expand upon their art skills.
Through AP Art, I think I've learned a lot of different techniques and strategies that I can not only improve my art, but also I'm able to put more message and, value into my art.
Emma is, as evidenced by her portfolio and all the work that she's done over the years, shows a maturity, craftsmanship, and complexity far beyond her young age.
In the past couple months, Emma has taken her passion for art to a new level by starting her own art banner business.
I started making banners. I first got the idea from a couple people on my soccer team because they asked if I could make theirs for them. I was like, of course I could make it. And then I did some of those, and then my friends started asking for ones, and I was like, why am I not just making a little small business out of this? And
I got Emma's banner for my graduation party, and what I really liked about it was it was totally customizable, you know what I mean? I could do the size that I wanted, I could do the theme, the colors, the font, everything.
I've probably made close to 40 maybe. I do obviously grad parties, that's my most popular right now. Like holidays, events, birthdays, you could do like baby showers, bachelorette parties, stuff like that. Basically anything. It comes with owning a business in general is that it's not about what I like, it's about what the person likes that I'm making it for.
She has an amazing eye for detail, a creative mind, and a desire that is coupled with a strong awareness of her audience.
I'm using my art skills just in general to help me make these designs. So I think that's something I've definitely learned.
Signing off from the Flash, this is Kaiya with help from Aabha.
Wow, I'll definitely be hitting her up soon.
You can find Emma's banners at Instagram at EmmaJoPainting.
Now onto a more serious note.
One of our Flash reporters headed to the Capitol to cover some important news about our state legislators.
Take it away, Nick.
Most people think that real lawmaking happens 1,000 miles away in Washington, D.C. But it's the work that happens here at the Minnesota State Capitol, just 10 miles to the north of Eastview, that is just as, if not more important, to our day-to-day lives. Let's take a look at what they've been doing here for this past spring session and what it means for us, students at Eastview.
In contrast to your federal representatives and senators, who represent from 800,000 to 5 million people, respectively, state legislators represent between 40,000 and 85,000 people, making them one of the most direct forms of political representation.
Even though a lot of the stuff at the federal or national level gets a lot of attention and news coverage, many people will tell you that the stuff that occurs at the local level here in the state or even your city is sometimes the stuff that actually impacts your day-to-day life even more.
But this year, that impactful work was delayed. Following 2 controversial elections, Republicans couldn't commit to letting one Democratic state representative take his seat. In response, Democrats didn't show up for nearly a month.
We did not want that to happen. We didn't think that was respecting the will of voters, and therefore we denied quorum until we got a power-sharing agreement that protected Brad Tapke's seat.
But now that the House of Representatives is meeting as scheduled, there's one thing at the top of their agenda. The thing that's at the top of the agenda for most Eastview students as well: education.
We need to prioritize in the classroom the basics instead of indoctrinating. We need to be focused on educating our students.
Our district really cares about people and the planet and making sure that we're funding government to do all of those things, to take care of people, that we're funding education, that we're keeping a strong, business community.
Around the time the class of 2025 graduates, this session of the state legislature will end. And one thing is for certain. For the sake of all Minnesotans, our representatives can't senior slide. With the help of Mikey and Kian, signing off for The Flash, this is Nick.
That was a powerful piece. Really puts things into perspective.
For sure. Now shifting gears, let's talk a bit about fishing.
Wait, you fish?
I love fishing. How about you, Ibrahim?
I've got a couple go-to spots, Jensen, Lebanon.
Oh, I thought you meant like fishing online.
No, Jenny, I meant actual fishing, not catfishing or email fishing. Shout out AP Comp Sci principals.
Oops, well luckily Kian knows someone who actually knows how to fish.
Let's check it out.
Oh, I didn't see you there. There's a saying in the fishing community, you give a man a fish, he eats for a day. But you teach a man to fish, he eats for a lifetime. And this statement couldn't hold truer in our great state of Minnesota, where fishing is a huge part of our community and a huge part of an Eastview student's life. We followed along this Eastview student on a normal day of fishing for him and why fishing has become a big part of his life. Here's the story.
Fished a little bit. We got a nice bass on the Tiny Clash. It destroyed it.
In a small corner tucked away near a busy roadside in Eagan, Jackson Plank stands at the dock overlooking Heine Pond, looking for his next big catch.
So this lake is where it all started for me. I started fishing here around during COVID. And even before then, when I was a little kid, I'd come here with my parents and, fish for a little bit. But really, when I really got into fishing, this is where it started. Basically, one of my friends, shout out Henry Jerome, he started, he was fishing a little bit before I started. And one day we were all playing Xbox, we all kind of got bored of it. And he was like, you know what, y'all want to go fishing for a little bit? And me and another friend of mine, we were like, you know what, sure, why not? So we came down here, and ever since then, we've been fishing.
What began as a simple interest soon grew into a full-blown passion, one where Jackson has seen remarkable success.
Biggest fish I've ever caught was a 43-inch tiger muskie, and I caught it with a friend of my dad's coworker on his boat. I wasn't going for muskie, I was going for bass, and it just ate.
Despite the success Jackson has had catching fish, the true reward lies in what fishing has added to his life.
I think it's for sure changed my life for the better. It's my one personality trait is that I fish, and I love I love being outside, and through fishing it's made me really appreciate the great outdoors and what we have, and made me a lot more conscious about my overall how I contribute to the ecosystem, and I always want to make sure that everything's good.
Signing off with The Flash, this is Kian.
That was a fantastic segment.
Totally lured me in.
Okay, enough puns. We've got a fourth story for you guys today.
This story is about the ones whose style goes beyond their clothes.
Skylar has a story.
Shoes started off as just a way to increase your appearance, but over time people found love and passion in the shoes they collect.
A lot of people go for the New Balances, definitely the Panda Dunks, and the 4s. I collect the 4s, some of the new releases that come out, but mostly 4s. I think the younger crowds really try and go for what the older crowds are wearing. So if someone's buying Pandas, and the younger ones are gonna buy Pandas. So they're more with the trends.
Not only are shoes trendy, but they're pretty pricey too.
I own about 8 pair of sneakers. I got 6 Jordans and 2 randoms, but each shoe itself is $200 to $300. Growing up, always watched him clean his shoes, around the house, and he always just had nice shoes on. So I took over his interest growing up.
Shoes aren't only for flashy looks, but they can also hold memories and sentimental values as well.
First inspired me because he's been collecting shoes since he was really young, and he has a huge collection upstairs of 20 plus shoes. So he really sparked my interest at first. I got these purple fleece-lined Jordans, and I absolutely hated them because the color was ugly, but I was like, this is my first pair of sneakers that my dad bought me, and I was really excited, so that was the first sneaker. I add shoes mostly on comfortability, back when I first started it, I did it based on the trends, but then I wouldn't wear them that much. So then I've changed it to more what's gonna fit me the best and what's gonna allow me to wear it the most.
Everyone can buy shoes. You just have to be brave enough to start a collection.
I would just say just go for it. At first I was a little hesitant because shoes are kind of a lot of money, but just do you and pick the shoes that you think are the best or you want to wear the most, and just go for it.
Signing off from The Flash, this is Skylar with the help of Will, Gani, and Lena.
I'm gonna have to cop a new pair of shoes for prom.
Looks like it, and I might have to step up my shoe game as well.
Well, that's all for today's show.
And also have an amazing prom, upperclassmen. Thanks for tuning in.
And we'll catch you next time on The Flash.